Let's go internet world. TGIF. Some of y'all are like, thank God it's Friday. I'm done with my job for the entire weekend. I don't have to go back until Monday morning. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, thank God it's Friday because I get to go to work because I love what I do. And I'm going to make a lot of money. Friday and Saturdays is my best paydays of the entire week. So I'm excited, y'all, right? And if you're not excited, you're in a dead-end job, something you hate doing, something you may be stuck doing just because you think you have to pay the bills. I would encourage you to look into some other options, like search your heart. Really, really, really search your heart and find something you enjoy doing that you can make a living at or make some money at, right? It don't have to be a living. If you make some money, maybe it could be part-time, something you love doing, and then part-time, something that you're with until you can eventually move into something maybe full-time that you really love to do, right? But at least do what you love part-time, okay? And that's what I would suggest, right? Totally up to you, your life, you do what you want, but from my experience, I absolutely hated going to a job that I didn't enjoy doing. So a little bit of an unsolicited advice, y'all, this morning. I don't like to give a whole lot, but this is a podcast, right? So I'm going to put out what I think on it. Let y'all know how I think, what I think, how I feel as well. Really important. So now that the side rant stuff is gone, we're going to go and get into the meat here of this podcast. I want to officially welcome everybody. Or, excuse me, let me back up a minute. Go ahead and come to a stopping point, whatever you have going on this morning, and find somewhere safe where you can be comfortable the next few minutes as we get ready to get into our relaxation portion of the podcast this morning. So now I want to officially welcome everybody to the Daily Reader podcast on the Tony's Journey YouTube channel, where I read from a daily reader, a book, or a devotional, and we learn tools and principles, including but not limited to prayer, meditation, and breath work. It helps us to stay more present and to live better lives. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to this channel for future updates and podcast episodes. Oh, Lord. Get a good stretch in here. All right. Okay. I think we're going to start out this morning. I'm going to start out with gratitude this morning. Change my light up a little bit. I want to do a little, how about we do a little green today? How's that, y'all? Why does it not let me? There it goes. I can actually completely stop it. Let's see what I'm going to do. You know what? Let me. Come on now, stop. Wait. I know what it's going to do. It's not going to stop until I pause it right there. And it actually don't have a green. I thought it had a solid. I know it's got a solid green. There it is. Solid green. Let's do that, y'all. Check it out. How cool is that? Love my projector. I was thinking what, but $20 on Amazon. Pretty awesome. So, like playing with it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into gratitude, which I believe is probably one of the most important things of my day, if not the most important things of my entire day. And I'm going to start out with what I'm grateful for this morning, and I'm actually going to grab it and show y'all what I'm grateful for this morning, y'all. I am grateful for melons, and I actually love melons, y'all. This is a honeydew melon. This thing is, oh yeah, this thing is good and ripe. I don't know if you ever knew how to check a honeydew or a cantaloupe or whatever for ripeness, but I actually just kind of push on this little thing right here. Push on the end of it, not this end, not the stem end, but this. I guess you could probably do. Actually, you could do either end, really. So, but I prefer to push on this end here, and if it gives a little bit, that means it's ripe. And this thing's giving some, so it's good and ripe for you to eat. So I love watermelon. Watermelon and honeydew melons is probably my favorite. I think honeydew is kind of, to me, it tastes kind of like a cantaloupe. And I'm grateful for those, for God's food that He gives us to eat. So I'm looking forward to busting into this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna get into it. If I eat it today, might eat some of it today. We'll see how things go. But if not, I'll definitely eat some of it tomorrow. But y'all take a minute, just think about what you're grateful for. I'll give you some time to do so. And then once you get something you're comfortable sharing with the entire world, just drop it below down in the comments here. If you're drinking anything this morning, cheers to you. Hydrating water this morning. Ah, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's see here. I got some wax built up on there blocking my flame a little bit. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Probably end up getting burned my finger here in a minute. Y'all just give me a minute here. Come on, really? 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 Wax build up. Ah, dang. Ah, there it goes. That should be a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more visible there. There we go, y'all. All right, so this morning we're going to go ahead and it's comfortable for you doing so. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take some slow, deep breaths. Breathe it in your nose, out your mouth. Focusing on the sound of nature here on my projector. Well, I think I did this the other day. I'm going to change the sound, y'all. Did that one the other day, so let's switch it up a little bit here. Just do that one. A little nighttime sound there. Crickets, maybe some tree frogs there. Relax your jaw, relax your body. Put your attention on the projector, sound of nature, and just let go of any regrets you have about the past. And any worries you have about the future. Just know that everything is as it should be. Everything will work out. And you'll make the right decisions in the moment when the future gets here. Just take one step at a time. Just know that everything's going to be okay. Everything will work out like it needs to, regardless of what I think, what you think, or what anybody else thinks. If you haven't noticed, thinking sometimes is part of the problem. Think too much sometimes. Get in our heads, get all taken into the past, taken into the future. Right now, we miss the right now, which is the present moment. Sometimes living our lives, we miss out because we're stuck in the past or stuck in the future. Continue breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Oh. Just take a couple more breaths. And we'll do today we're going to do the full version of the Serenity Prayer after that. So final breath. Let's go ahead and do that. Take it in deep as you can on an inhale. On an exhale, blow it out audibly, releasing any other tension you might be holding on to in the body. And inhale. And exhale. Blow it out. Let it all out. And prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that if I surrender to his will, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, so that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever and ever in the next. All right. Okay, we're back in our new book, y'all. We just started. If you're new here, it's Letting Go, Pathway of Surrender. Dr. David Hawkins, MD, PhD. And we're in the forward right now. In case any of y'all are following along, y'all have this book. If you don't have it, you can get it online if you want it. But it's XB, very bottom, where we're reading from right now. So it says, letting go, the pathway of surrender provides the roadmap to a freer life for anyone who is willing to make the trip. Your life will be changed for the better if you apply the principles described in this book. They are not difficult to understand or to implement. They do not cost anything. They do not require special attire or travel to an exotic country. The major requirement for the journey is a willingness to let go of the attachment to your current experience of life. uh, yeah, easier said than done, right? Yeah. Hmm. As Dr. Hawkins explains, a small part of ourselves is attached to the familiar, no matter how painful or ineffective it is. I gotta highlight that, y'all. I'm gonna reread that too. Oh wow, that's good, y'all. That is powerful. All right. So mm, oh, so it says the small part of ourselves is attached to the familiar, no matter how painful or inefficient it is. I got a ton of highlights throughout this book. I read about half of it, but I got pages marked highlights all over this thing. It may seem bizarre, but our self with a small s actually enjoys an impoverished life and all the negativity that goes with it. Feeling unworthy, being invalidated, judging others and ourselves, being inflated, always winning and being right, grieving the past, fearing the future, nursing our wounds, craving assurance, seeking love instead of giving it. Mm, wow. Mm. Are we willing to imagine a new life for ourselves characterized by effortless success, freedom from resentment, gratitude for all that's happened to us, inspiration, love, joy, win-win resolutions, happiness, and creative expression? One of the biggest hurdles to happiness, he tells us, is the belief that it's impossible. There's got to be a catch. It's too good to be true. It can happen for others, but not for me. The gift of a person, teacher like Dr. Hawkins, is that we see and experience that being who is that happiness, who is that boundless joy, who is that unsaleable peace. The book was written because he himself experienced the power of the mechanism it describes. To read about and be in the presence of such a liberated being gives us the catalyst, the hope, and the launch for our own inward trek. And so, despite the cynicism of the small self, there is a self that beckons us on. We may first hear its call as coming from an advanced consciousness, such as Dr. David Hawkins, teacher or guide or sage who has realized the self. Then, as we have our own experiences of truth, healing, and expansion, we hear the call as coming from an inner place. Self of the teacher and that of the student are one and the same, says Dr. Hawkins. He radiates the truth of this book. As a serious seeker who saw much of contemporary spiritual writing as shallow, I wanted to verify the authenticity of this work. It was all important to know, does this author speak from a true inner realization? The answer is yes. Close observations made during several years of interviews and visits confirm the advanced state. This book, he reminds us of the law of consciousness that says we are all connected at the energetic level, and a higher vibration such as love has a powerful effect on a lower vibration such as fear. I feel the truth of this law where whenever I'm with him, his energy field transmits healing, love, and profound peace. As he explains in his book, these higher states are available to all of us at any time. Hmm. No matter where you are in life, this book will eliminate a next step. Illuminate. Illumine next step. The mechanism of surrender that Dr. David Hawkins described is applicable to the entire inner journey from letting go childhood resentments to the final surrender of the ego itself. Thus, the book is equally useful for the professional interested in worldly success, the client in therapy seeking to heal emotional issues, the patient diagnosed with an illness, and the spiritual seeker devoted to enlightenment. Important step for all of us, he advises, is to acknowledge we have negative feelings as a consequence of our human condition and to be willing to look at them without judgment. The high state of non-dual awareness may be our goal, but how do we handle the persistently dualistic small self that wants us to see ourselves as better than or worse than another? In his previous 10 books, Dr. Hawkins has described the non-dual state of enlightenment with rare, pristine awareness. As he says humorously at the start of many lectures, we begin with the end. Indeed, in his lectures and books, he has thoroughly illuminated the highest states of consciousness that are culmination of inner human evolution. Now, this book, published in the latter part of his life, he has taken us back to our common starting point, acknowledging the existence of the small self. We must start where we are to get to where we want to go. We want to go from here to there. We don't get there faster if we fool ourselves and say we're starting from nearby. We actually make the trip longer. As he explains in the book, it takes courage and self-honesty to see negativity and smallness in ourselves. Only when we can acknowledge the negativity that we've inherited from the human condition will we have the possibility to surrender and be free from it. We simply need to be willing to acknowledge and accept that part of our human experience. By accepting it, we can transcend it, and Dr. Hawkins shows us the way. In this highly pragmatic book, he illumines a technique by which we can transcend the small self and break through to the freedom for which we long. This state of inner freedom and unalloyed happiness is our birthright. He says, as we read, we draw encouragement and inspiration from the real life clinical examples that he shares from his decades of psychiatric practice. Case after case, we see the power of surrender applied in nearly every area of life: relationships, physical health, work environments, recreational activity, spiritual process, family life, sexuality, emotional healing, and addiction recovery. Hmm. Y'all know some days I'll probably comment and have some commentary on these, and some days I won't, right? I think I haven't read this entire book. I've experienced a little bit of this process some area of my life, but not like consistently, like all the time, right? So if I think I have some value to add, I'll share it. If I don't, I won't. Simple as that. I'm just going to be reading the books that we do. So we'll probably read books until the end of this year. I don't know how many we're going to get through. I'm guessing probably two, couple maybe. Then next year we'll probably do maybe another step reader next year. But we'll see how things go. But see here. Okay, go back here. We learned that the answer to the problems we face is within us. By letting go of the inner blocks to it, the truth of our inner self shines forth and the path to peace is revealed. Other spiritual teachers have emphasized the cultivation of inner peace as the only real solution to personal difficulties, as well as collective conflicts. Inner disarmament first, then outer disarmament, the Dalai Lama. Be the change you want to see in the world, Gandhi. The implication is clear, because we are all part of the whole. When we heal something in ourselves, we heal it for the world. Each individual consciousness is connected to collective consciousness at the energetic level. Therefore, personal healing emerges, collective healing. Dr. Hawkins may be the first to attempt to understand this principle in light of scientific and clinical applications. Crucial point is, by changing ourselves, we change the world. As we become more loving on the inside, healing occurs on the outside. Much like the rising of the sea level lifts all the ships, so the radiance of unconditional love within a human heart lifts all of life. Good stuff. Dr. David Hawkins is a world-renowned author, psychiatrist, clinician, spiritual teacher, researcher of consciousness. The details of his extraordinary life are given in the About the Author section of the book, back of this book. His unique works engulfs from a wellspring of universal compassion and a dedication to the alleviation of suffering in all dimensions of life. The gift of Dr. Hawkins' work, human involvement, is beyond what can be said about it. The state of enlightenment is totally complete in its bliss, such that one would never leave it except out of a total surrender of love to God and to one's fellow human beings to share the gift that was given. His book on letting go and all of his work in the world is the result of that surrender. As you will read in one of the chapters, there's a very deep surrender that allowed the resumption of his personal consciousness in order to fulfill certain commitments in the world. The state of oneness was not lost or left, but extraordinary love had to be directed toward the challenge of verbalizing the ineffable. You will notice that some of his pronouns do not fit grammatical convention. For example, our life, yet they are true to the experience of spiritual state that knows the impersonal oneness of all life. And Dr. Hawkins would re-enter the world of logic and language in order to share a map of consciousness with us, so we might be able to complete our destiny. Speaks volumes of this selfless love for humanity. By showing us the way to liberation, Dr. Hawkins gives us a chance of reaching it. Thank you, Dr. Hawkins, for the gift of total surrender. And that's from Fran Grace, PhD editor. Professor of Religious Studies and steward of the Meditation Room, University of Redlands, California. Founding Director, Institute for Contemplative Life, Sedona, Arizona, June 2012. All right, y'all. So that is all the time we have for today. We're going to be starting tomorrow. We're going to be starting the preface. So I'm looking forward to that, y'all. Looking forward to really diving into some of this stuff, some of this practical application with y'all. Pretty awesome stuff. Not say it's easy, but it's definitely some good stuff. So, another good stretch in here, and go ahead and put out, well, candle put out itself. So I can push that wax down a little more, get that wax off the corner here. There it goes. That'll help out some for tomorrow anyway. All right, y'all take care. As always, it's a blessing to be here with y'all. And peace and love.